the race goes on.
Events that only occur once a year are always special, but the 50th anniversary, it's exceptional. Let's get this golden race running with a little bit of green. The sports car world is racing at Daytona for the 50th year. This one will be special. And Ryan Dial, the pole man, sees the green flag for the 50th Rolex 24 at Daytona.
Max the Axe there slammed the door on Scott Dixon there as they hustled down to turn one.
Well,
GT, broken start here.
These guys, if they get as clean as the prototype guys do.
Jeff Siegel in there really deep from the outside of the front row. Andrew Davis settling in from the pole. Looks like they're going to go side by side off of turn two.
Keeping the classes separate, that's in the name of safety and to give everyone a clean opportunity for a safe start.
Oh, look at that, Scott Pruitt. Remember, they had an engine problem, didn't make qualifying. He's starting at the back. He nearly got body checked there by Tracy Crone coming out of the horseshoe.
One of the things you got to worry about starting in the back is working your way through that traffic that's not accustomed to being as quick as Scott Pruitt is, who would normally be at the front of this grid.
And in the testing here on last month, Scott Pruitt, right in this very area of the racetrack, went through some GT traffic, got it wrong, and damaged that race car heavily.
He thinks about an inside move on Tracy Crone and then thinks twice. No particular rush here. You've got time. Opening lap of this 24-hour, and Pruitt slices up the inside of Tracy Crone now. Moves by that Ford Lola.
Look at that beautiful new bodywork on the Riley. The cockpit area is about 10% smaller. It really streamlines the car, but look at that Lola come back. Tracy Crone, problem there for one of the Action Express cars.
It's the 5, I believe. It's the 5.
Remember, they've had engine problems all week long. Darren Law popped a motor on Thursday night practice. They put a new one in yesterday. It didn't run correctly. They changed it again. Still more drama for that team.
Yeah, it's been frustrating. And the defending GT champions, Andrew Davis, just like Ryan Dial in the Daytona prototypes, has got a flyer of a start. Our pole man, who just had everybody so pleased and proud for him, has taken off. And we've had it confirmed. It is the 5. Tell us more, Chris, the dramas.
Well, I'm listening to Darren Law on the radio right now. He said fuel pressure seems to be fine, but he said the motor is not running well, so he's already brought it back to pit lane. They're going to take a look at it. Now, we've got a lot of hours in front of us, so if they can just try and get this thing back out on the racetrack, they can definitely make up some last loss. But they're going to shut the car off, take the rear jack off the car, and see what they're dealing with.
You can replace almost anything on that engine you want to. The one thing you cannot replace is the engine block. Short of that, go for it, boys.
Not the way Action Express wanted to start. Action Express is a Rolex 24 at Daytona winning team. Starworks would like to be. Starworks with Ryan Dial got its very first Daytona prototype class pole. First here at the Rolex 24, and Ryan Dial got his very first DP pole. The 29-year-old Scotsman who lives here in Florida is just loving this new Riley.
What a week for Peter Barron's team. This is the brand new Riley body car, okay, with a Ford Power. They didn't even complete building that car till last weekend. They rolled the car off the truck on Thursday morning. They had problems in the first practice. Had a short practice session after that. Then Ryan Dial and his team responded with the pole position. A brilliant performance.
Boy, nobody saw that coming. Everybody was looking for the SunTrust car more than likely to take that pole. Max Angelelli was very disappointed when Ryan Dial pulled that one out of the hat.
Yeah, we spoke to Max yesterday and he was still fuming almost 24 hours post-qualifying. He sits in second place, the Italian, ahead of Scott Dixon, who has Oz Negri looking at him in 4th place. Alex Gurney is 5th, and the 5 has been released.
Yeah, Darren Law just exiting pit lane right now, so he's going to go down one lap. The team changed the ECU in the car. They've been dealing with a high-speed miss since yesterday. They changed quite a few things on the car. They did not change the ECU, so this is the next step. I asked Elton Sawyer, what's the step after this? And he said, you know what? If it isn't this, we've got a bigger problem on our hands, and we're probably going to have to go back to the garage.
Of course, the ECU, the electronic control unit, is the brain or the computer. It runs everything on that car. So if one of those little segments isn't nice, they'll just replace the whole unit as one. We'll see if it will fix the car.
And this is not the only time we're going to see scenes like this in GT. It is a packed field, a packed class. Whoa, look at that. The Momo, the NGT Porsche runs wide. Sean Edwards had to catch that.
He really did. It's very slippery. If you get in there, you think you can really take the long radius around that corner and carry a bit more speed. There's just not the grip there. And we see Jordan Taylor in the 88. He's going to be a real force this year with Paul Edwards for the championship. Narrowly missed it on last year. Then we see now one of those new Audi R8s. Stephen Kane behind the wheel of the Oryx machine.
And Bill Aublin in the 93 Turner Motorsport BMW. There's one of the new 458 Ferraris. It's the Ferrari 458 Italia Grand Am. It's made to Grand Am specifications, just like the Audi R8, and it's terrific to see a combination of 7 of those across the 2 marks in this field today.
Look at that GT field now. Imagine what's going to happen when the Daytona prototypes come up here to try to lap these guys. These are professional race car drivers in real factory race cars. They're not going to just move over to these Daytona prototypes. They're going to race hard. This is a war.
Another Action Express update with Chris.
Yeah, Lee, more bad news for the 5-car. Darren Law just radioed in that at 6,000 RPMs, that's when the car won't accelerate anymore. He gets that high RPM miss, so they did not fix it by changing that ECU. I just heard Elton Sawyer on the radio tell him, Darren, we need you to stay onto the racetrack. We're trying to come up with a plan right now. This race is all about taking a blow and recovery. This team is trying to figure out, how do you recover from this?
Well, it's going to be tough. And Dawes, I think what may have happened, they had a fire underneath the hood there the other night, and maybe something just got fried and they haven't got to the bottom of the problem.
And that electrical type of problem, Calvin, is the hardest thing to try to diagnose and or fix. They'll start throwing wiring looms and things like that at it. Not try to change one component, but massive components all at once to try to find this problem.
We were riding there with Rui Agua for a moment in that AF Corsa Wall Trip Ferrari. Off to a solid and clean start. Dion von Moltke right there in the 51 APR R8, just ahead of Rui Agua. And then you got Darrell O'Young in that Bullet Racing 22 Porsche. So many cars, so many drivers, and we have got so much to tell you over our continuous live coverage of the